Welcome back as we talk about hope after Helene. We have several News 5 crews out in the communities affected by the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, talking a little bit about how they were affected and how they've been able to heal and move forward and what they still need. Joining me now is News 5's Caleb Perhne, who's been covering Carter and Johnson counties for us. So Caleb, talk to us a little bit about how hard they were hit and how devastated those communities were.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere in this region that dealt with Helene was hard hit. So you're really seeing a lot of the same things in Carter and Johnson counties, where it had rained so much that rivers overflowed and you had massive amounts of rushing water in certain communities. Thankfully, Carter and Johnson's not quite as bad as some of the stuff we saw in Unicoi and Washington, so that's kind of thankful for them. But, in Carter County, they lost a high school that got washed through. Lots of homes washed away. I think it was somewhere in the 50, 60-ish range of homes that were lost. I went to the Pokey community in Carter County up toward Elk Mills, and I had not been there since the storm had happened. But the road leading up, the highway leading up is gone. The ground that it sat on is gone. They're having to build essentially a rock wall to reconstruct this highway. And I had to take a long detour to get in, probably an extra 45 minutes, and came through the back side of that community. And when I got there, I didn't realize where I was, is how much devastation had happened here. It wasn't until
changed.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing there. It wasn't until I walked out onto the highway and looked back the opposite direction that I just kind of recognized the shape of the road. And that's when it kind of hit me. I was like, wow. Like, I remember what was here, and there's nothing here, sort of thing.
Unbelievable. After 6 months, too. It's incredible what is still left to be done. Before we get to that, Caleb, talk a little bit about the progress you've seen in Johnson and Carter counties.
Yeah, a lot of these communities, it's taken longer than I thought it might. I guess I'm naive to have thought that by 6 months we might have back to normal now. But
right.
we really aren't. These places are talking in 2-year timelines. But there has been progress. There are some folks that have been able to move back into their homes, have gotten them repaired. There's no one that I'm aware of from the places I went to. I didn't encounter anyone who didn't have some sort of shelter. A lot of folks still living in campers at this point. But some of the major roads and highways have been repaired and reopened. In a lot of places, 421 in Johnson County, 91 in Johnson County, 321 in Carter County is in progress. I've seen a lot of progress the past couple of months for that one. Of course, that one they had to reconstruct the land that it was sitting on. So a lot of things there have been moving forward. And in Carter County, I visited a house where there was a crew that was helping this woman with her bathroom, replacing all the fixtures and the walls and everything there. She had 19 inches of water in the house, but when you walk in there now, it feels like it's getting pretty close to her being able to move back.
And a lot of times, Caleb, these are strangers coming from outside of our community. And a lot of time they are giving of their time.
Yeah, a lot of these are volunteers. I was talking with the long-term recovery groups in each of the counties, and they have something like 24 volunteers every week from states away. There was a lady from Utah that I met who had come to Mountain City to help with recovery. Some folks from Maryville had come to Carter County to help with some of the construction projects. A lot of folks helping.
Talk a little bit about the obstacles. You have uncovered something very interesting and very unfortunate and perhaps unforeseen.
Yeah, so I assume you're talking about today's story that's airing on News 5. Exactly, part of the Helene series. But
yes.
A lot of times with the road damage, we're talking about bridges that washed away or roads that washed away from the storm. But a lot of these places, now that they have, maybe 1 or 2 routes that are usable now, all of that truck traffic, all those dump trucks, all the construction supplies are coming on a couple of roads that were built for rural residential traffic, and so a lot of them are getting beaten and battered, crumbling apart, um, huge potholes in some places. It seems like it's a gravel road, but it's actually the asphalt has been ground to gravel by the trucks. So that's
Wow.
a thing that we're dealing with. Um, as far as the series that we're doing for the 5:30 news this week, I think one of the
That's
biggest things I've run into as far as issues is just the amount of time it takes to get through all the processes to get money back. A lot of folks
red
have
tape.
explained to me that the way FEMA works with their money to send help to these counties for road repairs, bridge repairs, that there's a process to it to make sure that the money gets spent wisely and is not diverted or anything like that. So there's lots of paperwork, there's lots of checks, there's inspections. And so a lot of these places, still even 6 months in, have not gotten any funding from FEMA just yet. They know that they're getting something, but they don't know how much or when or in what form. Like Hampton High School, they don't know whether they haven't determined yet whether that's going to be repaired or replaced. Some of the roads in Johnson County haven't is still sitting there waiting for money to figure out what they're going to do. And then they've also got the issue of the weather, because Johnson County, a mountainous county, winter has come, and the winter always beats and batters the roads that were already beaten and battered by Helene. And
Mhm.
there's just a short window of time where you can pave and repair these, and they're kind of like, well, are we gonna get the money in time to do that? Unknown.
Unknown, and that is a scary place to be. Let's talk a little bit about the individuals who aren't sure what kind of help they're going to be getting. What are they doing in the meantime, and are there still donation centers set up?
Yeah, there a lot of thoughts there. Let me back up, and I'll tell you about this
Sure.
one woman in Carter County, the one with the 19 inches of water in her house. She had flood insurance, but her flood insurance has still not told her whether they're going to pay for the repairs to her house. And FEMA, by law, is supposed to take care of anything that is not taken care of by, um, the insurance. It's the help at the end of everything to make you whole. Well, because the flood insurance has not told her what they're going to do, FEMA has to wait for the flood insurance before they can say, okay, well, we'll take this amount. So in the
Mhm.
meantime, she spent her retirement savings. She's living with her sister in Johnson City. Um, and the volunteers are the ones really that are fixing up her house. Um, as far as donations go, the sort of stuff that we had in the beginning, food, water, uh, clothing, cleaning supplies, they're not really needing that kind of things anymore. But now it's more of volunteer help. Are you someone who can do some of the construction work? Or if not, are you someone who can make the meals to feed the construction help, the volunteers doing that? Are you someone who can answer the phone and coordinate all of the needs to the people who are able to help? Those are the sorts of things that they're needing help with right now.
So moving forward, what kinds of help does Carter County need? Does Johnson County need? How can people come in and sign up for those volunteer jobs that you're talking about? And what kind of outlook do they have? Do they remain hopeful? Is it starting to feel a little hopeless without all this help from FEMA? Tell us how it feels there. What's the mood?
Well, actually, when I asked the pastor of Grace Baptist Church in Elizabethton, who's helping to coordinate their long term recovery group, when I asked him what are the things that folks need, the first thing he named was hope. Um, that uh, folks can get, kind of dismayed at just how long it takes, but hope is the big thing they need. Prayers and reaching out to your neighbor and being there for the needs that they have. As far as the volunteer work, those things that I mentioned, your county's long-term recovery group is really the place to reach out to. It's my understanding that all of the impacted counties have a long-term recovery group. So if you reach out to them, call them. Um, I'm sure that they can coordinate you in the right place that they need at the right time. In Carter County, that would be Grace Baptist Church, I believe, is a place to reach out to. The Carter Compassion Center is also involved. In Johnson County, it's First Christian Church in Mountain City is doing a lot of the work there. So those would be the places I would call.
Okay, thank you so much, Caleb. Is there anything else you would like to add that I haven't asked you, or anything you would like to say about this series that we're working on?
Um, I don't think so. I mean, we pretty well covered it. It's just that I think we're shining a light on just how much there is still need, because um, we've never been through something like this before, and it used to be that if you heard, oh, a hurricane was coming, you imagine it's going to be rainy this week, you know, or if we had we're picking up storm damage from a windy day. Okay, a month from now, we're not talking about this anymore. But this really feels like something that uh, when we reach the 1 year mark, when we reach the 2 year marks, there's still going to be some needs out there. So it's important to keep paying attention to how you can help.
Absolutely. And that is exactly what our goal is through our series, Hope After Helene. 6 months after this devastating disaster hit our region, and News 5's Caleb Perhne will be covering Johnson and Carter counties for us this week.
We have seen catastrophic biblical-like flooding.
Communities destroyed.
Little Germany is a complete loss at this point.
We've never seen anything to the magnitude of what we got.
News 5 WCYB takes you inside the recovery 6 months after Hurricane Helene.
People still are helping, and please continue to help.
And how the spirit of the mountains is as strong as ever. Watch Hope After Helene all week at 5:30 and 6 on News 5 WCYB.